Hi, I'm James, and I have no idea how to start this video. I've been umming and ahhing about starting a YouTube channel where I talk about music for some time now, but something has always stopped me. I don't really know anything about music. I've never studied it formally or gone to music school or learned to play an instrument properly. But one thing I am an authority on is my own personal taste in music, and what I would recommend to anybody who asked me to show them something new. So, here I am. And if you've got the time, I'd love to show you these 5 albums that changed my life. And so I think we should start here. This is Graceland by Paul Simon. It was recorded over 2 weeks in Johannesburg, South Africa, after Simon's relationship with his former collaborator Art Garfunkel disintegrated. It's since become one of the standout albums in Paul Simon's discography. And both historically and thematically, it's a very beautiful album, given it was recorded during apartheid with both black and white musicians. It's a testament to togetherness, packed with wonderfully melodic, catchy tunes. In terms of danceability, it's a total departure from his earlier stuff, but it doesn't compromise on any of the clever, witty lyricism that he's known for. The boy in the bubble and the baby with the baboon heart is just one sterling example of some of the evocative lyricism on this album. If you're interested in dancey music with African rhythms and beautiful backing vocals, I highly, highly recommend. This is Happening from LCD Soundsystem. It was released in 2010 on James Murphy, the frontman of LCD's own record label, DFA Records. It feels to me to be the most holistic record in their catalogue, and while it is a lengthy listen, it never quite feels that way. Though it's not presented as a long continuous mix like a DJ set might be, it feels to me like every song is tugging on the collar of the next one. There are moments on it that recall the recently dissolved post-punk revival that was coming out of New York City around that time. And those moments really solidify LCD as the dominating force on the dancier side of that coin. If you're familiar with any track on this, it's likely the opener, Dance Yourself Clean, which is a slow build to a spectacularly groovy hour and a bit. It's terrific fun to throw on just by yourself or in a room full of people. I cannot recommend it highly enough. This is Hats by the Blue Nile. It came out in 1989 and it is one of the more melancholy albums on this list. It's also, without a doubt, the most overlooked. It was released in 1989 to high critical praise, but they're lesser known nowadays compared to many of their contemporaries. Full of deeply sentimental lyrics, but really stunning and restrained instrumentation. It's music that is grandiose, but in extremely subtle ways. Frontman Paul Buchanan's voice, coupled with this tender lyricism, makes for an excellent late-night listen. The production on this thing is absolutely stellar, and I've never heard an album that has such a distinct atmosphere. Highly recommend. If you've spent much time on the internet listening to other guys in front of record shelves talk about music, then you're probably familiar with this album cover from a band called Animal Collective. A lesser known, but in my opinion, more impressive album is from Noah Lennox, aka Panda Bear, one of Animal Collective's key members. Person Pitch was recorded in the wake of Lennox's recent marriage, fatherhood, and relocation to Lisbon. He's been quoted describing the album as sugary and influenced by the mellow and sunny Portugal he had just relocated to. It's a deeply psychedelic but surprisingly easy listen, particularly compared to some of his band's other work. If you like the melodic highs of Pet Sounds or the mellowness of Moon Safari, you're going to absolutely love this album. This is The Boatman's Call, from Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, released in 1997. The Bad Seeds saw a significant stylistic shift when they sat down to record this in mid-1996. The abrasive nerviness of the Bad Seeds' earlier catalogue is pushed aside in favour of slower, piano-led songs on The Boatman's Call. Very tender, misanthropic lyrics punctuate what are some of the most delicately produced tracks that the Bad Seeds had to that point. While much of Cave's writing prior to this album had been centred around fictional characters, The Boatman's Call feels deeply personal and introspective. On a personal note, it was the first of Cave's albums that I was introduced to, and I think it's a great way in if you're unfamiliar with his catalogue. So that's it. Those are the 5 albums that changed my life. Thanks very much for watching this, and let me know if you'd like to see some more of it. It felt good. It felt good to make.